If I told you you could build that classic V-taper back with just 2 dumbbell exercises, no cables, no machines, you might think I was oversimplifying, but I'm not. Because the truth is, when you understand how the lats work, you don't need 10 moves, but just 2 done right. But it starts by choosing the right dumbbells. And you're gonna need 2 of them, 1 lighter and 1 heavier. And the lighter one's gonna be 20% less than the heavier dumbbell and serve a very important purpose. That heavier dumbbell, well, that's used on the first exercise. And that first exercise is the dumbbell 1-arm row, but not with your knee up on the bench like this or your hand in this position, out of this asymmetrical stance. Because I've talked about before, you're just increasing the risk of the exercise, especially on the weakened tissues of the inguinal canal, which increases your risk of hernia when you put a heavy weight in your hand and pull from this offset position. Instead, you can still use this bench, but use it to your advantage by simply propping it up to an incline and then resting yourself behind it with your feet squarely on the floor in this tripod position. And the benefit of this position is not only that we have our weight now evenly distributed between these 2 feet, but I could also position the dumbbell between my feet so that when I pull, I still keep the load pretty symmetrical. And pulling from here, I still use the elbow as my driver of the weight. I'm not thinking about pulling with my hands, but rather driving the elbow back behind my body and as close to my side as I can to make sure that I'm targeting the lat. Again, an opportunity here to do the exercise more safely without losing any of the benefits that we know the exercise can give us. And that brings us to the second exercise, and that is the dumbbell pullover. Now this has to be one of the most misunderstood and therefore avoided exercises that has the potential to bring a lot of gains if you do it right. And for most of you, that means doing it safely. Because a lot of us avoid this exercise because we feel discomfort in the shoulder. And that's because of how we're holding the dumbbell. If you're gonna do the exercise the right way, you wanna allow your elbows to flare out. What that does is it opens up the shoulders, puts them into shoulder external rotation, and makes the exercise a hell of a lot more comfortable. The second thing is, I mentioned using the light weight somewhere. This is the place you want to use it because it's not about using super heavy weight, but more so taking advantage of the stretch that this exercise gives you in that bottom position. So with that lighter dumbbell and with those elbows flared, you want to make sure that you're sinking your hips down before you think about anything else. Because the attachment of the lats is the pelvis. And if you can drop the hips, then you're going to create a larger stretch on the lats, even without having to drop the dumbbell too far behind your head or even explore some of those positions of the shoulder that make you uncomfortable. So by dropping the hips and then lowering the arms as far as is comfortable for you, you're able to take advantage of that good deep stretch. You want to hold it for a short period of time at the bottom of this stretch to make sure that you're getting into it, and then you bring the dumbbells back up, making sure not to go too far up where you take the tension off the lats. This is and always will be one of the 2 best dumbbell exercises you could possibly do for building a thicker, wider back. If you're wondering what those 2 options are for chest, you're gonna wanna check out this video over here. And also, as we add to this series, you check out the whole playlist over here. Guys, if you haven't done so, make sure you click subscribe, turn on notifications. And if you're looking for a complete program from ATHLEAN-X, you can find it at athlean-x.com along with our supplements. All right, guys, be back here soon.